Hey guys, what's up? It's RygarTheDestroyer, and today we're going to be doing episode 4 of Friday Q&A. We've got a ton of awesome questions this time. Before I start, just remember, if you have any comments or questions, throw them down in the comment section, and I'll answer them in next Friday's video. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started here. Coleman Trebor asks, have you ever played Uncharted? And the answer to that is pretty simply no. I haven't played Uncharted before, but for good reason. I don't have a PS3 or PS4, which makes it pretty hard to play Uncharted. I did, however, play a ton of Just Cause 2, and if I had an Xbox One, I would have played Just Cause 3. I love that game to death. And it seems kind of similar to Uncharted from what I've seen with the third-person like action kind of gameplay. So maybe someday I'll play it because it looks like it's a pretty fun game. Buckets from Space, which by the way is an excellent name, says, I always look forward to watching your videos. Love the style of reviewing you do. Thank you so much. That's really a kind thing to say. I really appreciate it. And it says, anyway, what do you think of army building and customizing? Now I have a lot of respect for both, even though I don't personally do a lot of either of them. With army building, I think it's really cool to have like a massive clone trooper army or stormtrooper army, but for me, I don't like spending tons of money on the same figure over and over. Like for me, I get a lot more enjoyment out of getting like tons of different figures and different characters and having a large collection in that sense with like diverse characters instead of just having a ton of stormtroopers, with a Darth Vader in front of. But I do really respect it because it's a really interesting type of collecting. As far as customizing, I've only ever done one custom action figure, and that's this one here. And basically I just repainted the hair and popped a new head onto this body to kind of make it look like me. The face doesn't look anything like me, but I have glasses and parted hair. So yeah, this is about as good as I get at customizing. But I do have a lot of respect for it. One of my favorite YouTubers of all time is the late Glenn Webb. And I used to love watching his custom figures because he did an absolutely fantastic job. And he inspired me to make this one here, and then when he passed away, it sort of I don't know, it sort of took the fun out of it for me. But it is cool. People do some really amazing work with custom figures. And then Buckets from Space's second question is, I know you scratch built a few things, but do you have any other projects out there? And this is an interesting question. It's the reason why I put these in the background here. For people who don't know, I scratch built these, and there's a 3-part tutorial series on how to make them yourselves. They're made from cardboard and some foam core, so they're super cheap, super easy to do. So self-plug on that one if you're interested. But anyway, I have scratch built some things. As far as other projects, I'm putting together a Novos Black Hole or Shadow Stormtrooper kit. Right now I'm just cutting the parts out though, so it's not really that exciting for like videos and stuff. That's the big major project. Outside of that, I don't have anything in particular. Last night I did make this though, kind of random. It's a, come on, focus here. Tiny can of Campbell's tomato soup in the 1/6 scale. Don't know why I made this. I was just compelled to work on something. So that's it that I've got for other projects. But I do have, aside from these, as far as scratch built models, these and an ATTE that I'm making out of cardboard. And then Rogue QUAN, this is the last question. Rogue QUAN asks, what is your favorite figure line to collect? And this one is tough. This is a tough question. I would say For Star Wars, as far as lines, I would have to say Attack the Clones line of figures. They had a really nice variety in the 3 3/4 inch. They had just fantastic sculpt and paint work, even though the articulation isn't that great. But for like background characters, they just did a fantastic job. They also had, in the Attack of the Clones line, like they introduced the Republic gunship, which is my favorite vehicle from Star Wars, and they did an excellent job with that toy. And then they also did the 12-inch line, which, again, some of the characters, like mostly the main characters, don't look like, incredible, but the background characters really look great from that line. So that's one of my favorite ones to collect. Another one that's kind of tied for that, for me, for Star Wars, is the Clone Wars line. That's another great line, because the Clone Troopers are my favorite, and that's the whole point of that line is Clone Troopers. So one of my favorites. For Halo, I would say the Reach line, hands down. Nothing else has compared to Reach for me. As far as between Star Wars and Halo, Star Wars for sure. I love Star Wars. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Halo, but Star Wars for me is my main interest. So anyway, if you have any comments or questions, throw them down in the comment section below, and like I said, I'll answer them next Friday. And thank you to everyone who commented. You guys you literally make the series by asking the questions. So keep up the awesome questions. I can't wait to answer any more, or answer more of them. And I guess I'll see you later.